As humans grow old, they tend to be vulnerable to all sorts of ailments, which happens due to the decreased strength of their immune system. One common disease that is prevalent in old people is Parkinson's disease. This disease is a degenerative brain condition associated with motor and non-motor complications which affect speech, mobility, and many areas of bodily function. The cause of the disease remains unknown, and unfortunately, there is no cure yet. In the past 5 years, disability and death due to Parkinson's disease have increased faster than for any other neurological disorder. April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month, and specifically today, April 11, 2023, is World Parkinson's Day. Joining us on the show this morning to discuss the World Parkinson's Day and how much awareness has been created in Nigeria is Oluyemisi Adedayo, Executive Director of Adewumi Desalu Parkinson's Foundation. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
And thanks for having me.
Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Well, Parkinson's disease, for the benefit of everyone watching and listening, could you tell us more about it? What are the symptoms and is it preventable?
Thank you, sir. Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative condition that affects the central nervous system and causes movement disorders. Some of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease are tremors, shakiness, freezing, rigidity, gait balance issues, and as the disease progresses, there are other non-motor symptoms that are cognitive, like loss of your handwriting and slowness in speech, and impairment, brain function impairment, and apathy and anxiety in some cases. To answer your question, sir, PD, Parkinson's disease, is not preventable because we do not know the actual cause of the disease. However, a healthy lifestyle, ensuring that we're eating healthy and exercising regularly could help, but the disease is not preventable.
Okay, so today is World Parkinson's Day, and the theme for this year's Parkinson's Day is Take 6 for PD, which is that every 6 minutes, someone is diagnosed with having the disease. That's quite a staggering number. And here you're saying that there's no cause, at least yet found. But yes. Are there certain factors that predisposes people to the disease?
Yes, thank you. So Take 6 for PD is the theme for this year's World Parkinson's Day. In the US, the data is that every 6 minutes, one person is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. But for Nigeria, we do not have this, scarcity of data. There are a lot of issues surrounding us knowing the actual statistics or the size of the problem of PD in Nigeria. In Nigeria, research has it that out of 100,000 population, between 10 to 249 people have Parkinson's disease. However, we know that is grossly underreported due to a whole lot of issues around awareness and the health infrastructure that is available. To specifically...
So are there factors that predisposes people to?
To answer your question. So there are no known factor in that sense. However, there are genetic predisposition. There could be genetic predisposition to the disease, and maybe exposure to some environmental hazards and factors like pesticides and other chemicals could predispose people to Parkinson's disease.
Okay, do we have in Nigeria, even if we don't know what the seroprevalence is in Nigeria, data is always a problem around here. Do we have something like treatment centers, referral centers where people can seek help apart from the regular, hospitals? And then secondly, is it the case that you have to reach a certain age to have Parkinson's disease? Because it's mostly people who are advanced in age. So is it an old age, issue rather than a general thing in the population?
Okay, so PD used to be an old age issue before. The age group above 65 were the ones that were more predisposed to the disease. But now we're having higher cases of early onset of Parkinson's disease. Early onset is from age 21 to 50, and we're having juvenile Parkinson's as well for below age of 21. To speak to a research that was done covering 109 people in Nigeria, 15 of them had early onset, which is more than about 13% of that population had early onset of PD. So it is no longer, while it is more prevalent with older folks from age 65 and up onwards, we're having more and more cases, increased cases of early onset Parkinson's. So are there treatment centers? Yes, there are treatment centers besides the hospitals and the healthcare centers available. One of such is our foundation, which is Adedayo Parkinson's Foundation. And what we do is to educate people around Parkinson's, increase awareness so that people can understand the disease, can seek for help if they present the symptoms of the disease. People around them can understand what they're going through and give them the right support. And we also provide care for people with Parkinson's disease. So we believe that with awareness, we can reduce some barriers to care. So people can know what to do. They can know that I might be having some neurological disorders. Let me go to the hospital. Besides that, our center also provides access to neurology. So we have a referral program where if someone presents the symptoms of PD, you can come in. We give you referral to teaching hospitals that we have partnership with. If you're clinically diagnosed, you put on the treatment and sent back to us for rehabilitative care. Rehabilitative care is very important in the treatment of Parkinson's disease because exercises would help you delay the progression of the disease. So because the disease affects your muscles, affects your ability to live your daily life, you need to continuously exercise those group of muscles to ensure that you're able to, carry out your daily activity for the longest time that you're able to. So our facility provides the infrastructure, I'd say, for you to do that. So we've got a physio, and we've got dancing studio, we've got boxing studio, we've got physiotherapy sessions based on the need of the individual. And these are geared towards people with Parkinson's disease. In addition to that, we also provide support for the caregivers because it's important that they're able to cope with the burden of caring for somebody with Parkinson's and be able to support them adequately. So we run regular support programs on a monthly basis at our center, and also a virtual one that is focused on Africa. So we have different people with Parkinson's disease who join the support group on a monthly basis and are able to share their experiences and, have a safe haven to discuss.
All right. So some people might wonder if this disease is hereditary. So in terms of, I know you talk about genetic predisposition, but is it hereditary? What are the likelihood or percentage chances of having this disease if someone a family member has had it? And then in terms of life expectancy, so in terms of when you've been diagnosed, whether at early onset or later onset, is it a death sentence? How well have the people that have come to your center been able to live, and the quality of life post-diagnosis? Okay,
thank you. PD, we know that there are some genetic disposition to Parkinson's disease. However, I'm not able to say specifically if there is a direct linkage, but we know that sometimes there are genetic dispositions to it. Now, to answer your other question about the life expectancy, so for people with Parkinson's, if you get the right help, the right health care, you do your exercises and you eat right, you can live your best life, have a good, health outcome, even with Parkinson's. So there are people who've had Parkinson's for 20, 30 years who continue to, live their best life within the ability that they have. So Parkinson's disease is really not a death sentence. However, you must be proactive, you must take your medications, you must see your healthcare provider, and you must do your exercise. It is very important for you to have a good health outcomes with with Parkinson's disease.
Well, the Desalo Foundation is a non-governmental, initiative.
Yes, sir.
From your work in this area, it's a public health issue. So, what will you be saying to the Nigerian government in terms of prioritizing focus within the public health space on Parkinson's disease? The same way we ask government, do something about cancer, do something about other public health issues.
Thank you very much, sir. So I'll be saying that PD is becoming the fastest rising neurological disorder in the world, and Nigeria is not exempted. And this is a call for the government and policymakers to, look to improve, build our healthcare sector to ensure that we have enough neurologists, we have enough physiotherapists as well, and there are drugs available for the care and treatment of Parkinson's disease in Nigeria. And more importantly, a need for advocacy as well to talk to the general population to understand what Parkinson's disease is and seek help at the right time so that they can begin to manage this disease as earlier on as possible. There's social and economic impact of Parkinson's, definitely. So it's important for our policymakers to look at our healthcare sector and develop it. As it is, data has it that we have just about 200 neurologists in Nigeria. So it's important that we look into that sector to ensure that we have the right manpower, the right specialist care for Parkinson's disease in Nigeria. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Adedayo, for coming to speak to us today.